Hey guys, I wanted to just talk about kind of the benefits of either keeping the same Google Classroom, making a copy of it, or archiving it and starting new. So if you're thinking about keeping the same Google Classroom, totally great. What you can do, especially if you have a year-long class, then you can just keep adding the week in, and then they still have access to all the older stuff. So that's completely up to you if you want to do it that way. That will create a longer classwork tab or a longer announcements, depending on what you had in there. But you absolutely could just continue on from semester one inside the same Google Classroom, and then it would be the same Google Classroom code. Now, if you wanted, you could also make a copy of your Google Classroom. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's say I wanted to make a copy of period 2. I can go right here to the 3 vertical dots. I can click this and I can hit copy. Now, when I do that, it's going to make a copy for me. I can name it whatever I want, semester 2, etc. Okay. When I hit copy, it's going to take it a second, but it's going to come up. And when you have a copy, it's going to put everything into the copy. It just won't post anything. It'll keep everything as a draft. So what you could do is go through in the copy and delete out any of the assignments, but you could still keep in any notes that you did or Google Slides or PowerPoints that you had for the kids. So if you wanted to keep them in there as review, you could delete out the ones you don't want and then simply repost the ones that you do want to keep. So that's a way so you don't have to re-enter everything if you're starting anew. You can just make a copy, delete out the things that you don't want, keep in the older things that you do. Or if you're like me and you have a class like psychology where I'm going to teach the same thing because it's only a semester class, I can make a copy and then I can just take the draft forms of those copies and just make them available as we do them in semester 2. So that is an option for you. The last option would be to go here to the 3 vertical dots to click archive, and it's not going to completely delete it. So if you make a mistake or you needed to grab something from an old archived classroom, it'll still be there. But you can archive it, get it out of your Google Classroom dashboard here, and then start a new one by coming up here in the top right-hand corner, and you can just hit the plus, and you can create a new class. Now, to find any archived classes, and don't judge because I have so many Google Classrooms that I'm a part of, but you can go up here in the top left-hand corner to the main menu, and you would scroll past all the active ones. Yes, I know, it's ridiculous. And then you can go right here to archive classes, and you would show, it would show anything that you've archived in there. Okay? So hopefully that helped you. Now, inside of your classrooms, if you are wanting to, you can also do this. If you're keeping yours, but you want to regenerate a new Meet link, which is different than a class code, right? But your new Meet link, if you want to regenerate a new one, you can go right up here in the top right-hand corner, click it. When you go down here, okay, and you go to Meet, in your settings, you can go right here to this drop-down arrow and you can reset it to a new one. So you can also, turn it off to make it invisible to students over the break if you're keeping yours. Not that it doesn't matter because when they can only get in there if you're in there anyway, but you could just remove it while we're on break, put it back in if you're keeping the same Google Classroom, and then you can just reset it for second semester. So that is an option for you. Okay. If you guys have any questions on Google Classroom and you're setting them up for your new classes, just let me know. But hopefully that helped you think through whether or not you want to start a new class, keep your old one, or make a copy so that you can have those things available to post as far as the old notes and things like that for review.